But we know me. I'm probably going to do too much. What up, Search fam? Sharde here. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new, my name is Sharde. I'm out here curating and co-creating a cool ass life and telling y'all about my books. Whether this is your first time on my little corner of the internet or you keep coming back and you ain't hit that subscribe button yet, baby, what is you doing?
What is you doing, babe?
Because why aren't you part of my internet family? Like, you keep coming back, so like, come on. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you're made aware of every time that I post. And I post weekly. I really do. I do my very best to do that.
It's Challenge Day.
And by that, I mean it's the first of Black History Month. Happy Black History Month to all the Black people. Love y'all. We up. So what I'm sharing with you all today is my TBR for Black History Month, the books that I am hoping to get through. Now, over here, we read Black books, we read Black authors, all the things. I want to share with y'all some of the things that I will hopefully be reading, because again, I'm not trying to do too much, but we know me. I'm probably going to do too much over February. So here we go. So I'm going to share with you books on my TBR, but also like what I am currently reading, because I'm always reading Black things by Black people. So first, Black women writers at work. I am reading this, and I have been reading this slowly during my devotional practice time. I put it down for a minute, not because it's not good, because it is very good, but because, again, mood reader. Black Women Writers at Work is a collection of interviews edited and done by Claudia Tate. And Claudia Tate has written other academic books that I read because she's does literature and psychoanalysis. And that's my vibe. That's up my alley, on my street. And so she interviews Maya Angelou, Toni Cade Bambara, Gwendolyn Brooks, Alex DeVoe, Nikki Giovanni, Kristen Hunter, Gail Jones, Audre Lorde, Toni Morrison, Sonia Sanchez, Zoki Shang, Alice Walker, Margaret Walker, and Shirley Ann Williams. Powerhouses, you hear me? And so I'm like almost halfway through it. And I just read, like, not too long after the passing of Nikki Giovanni, I read Nikki Giovanni's chapter, because like that's where I was in the book, which is, you know, seems fortuitous for me. But I picked this book up. This was out of print for like 25 years, and it just came back into print like a year ago, maybe almost 2. And so I, of course, bought it because I am a Black woman who writes. And so this is, you know, for me to glean some gems. Like the nephew says, won't gems give you gems? And this is doing that for me. I saw a reel on Instagram like last month. Somebody had sent it to me, where somebody was just like talking about Zora and Hurston, how they couldn't read her because of the way she renders language. And I said, just say you ain't read classic Black fiction before. And because of that made me pissed off. So I was like, it's time to read Their Eyes Were Watching God again. So that's what I'm gonna do this month. And it's a love story because it's February. Even though I don't celebrate Valentine's Day, we're gonna be reading Their Eyes Were Watching God, okay? By Mother Zora Neale Hurston. She's one of my sort of like personal writing icons because she was just such a big personality, and she lived her life in the way she saw fit. Like, it was just the fact that Richard Wright did her the way he did. It's always gonna be fuck Richard Wright for me, personally. And we can have a conversation about that. If y'all want me to like start talking about literature in a deeper way, especially like Black history literature, let me know, because I can do that. Because I be telling my students this stuff all the time. We do this all the time at Grandma's house. speaking of my students, so I'm teaching a course in African American religion and Afrofuturism this semester. So of course, my students are reading Parable of the Sower. So I've already started a reread of Parable of the Sower, and I'm actually reading it this time as an audiobook and in my hard copy because the audiobook is read by Lynn Thigpen. And if you don't know who Lynn Thigpen is, she hosted Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? And her voice is just stellar. So I've been listening to the audiobook and getting my life. But I also am looking back over my hard copy, which I need to finish tabbing because it has my notes for lecture. So this week we're getting started on this, and I'm super excited. Y'all know this is an Octavia Butler Stan account. And last week they read the Book of Martha. And so if you haven't read any of Octavia Butler's short stories, Bloodchild and other stories, Book of Martha is my favorite. I could also talk about this on the channel. And maybe I will. We don't know, because capacity, like, you have to go where your capacity takes you. You know what I'm saying? I went to the library looking for a couple of things, and I did not find one of the things I was looking for, so I got an ebook for it. And that is a love song for Ricky Wilde. Because again, it's February. We're going to try to get some romance off in there. We're going to pop it off. And so I'm going to read that as a digital book. I also got Technically Yours by Denise Williams. This was on my list of books that I wanted to read. And I'm going to read you the back on this one because I don't quite know what it's about. I just grabbed it off vibes. But Pearl Harris has learned the hard way to be careful and work in love. She has the chance to make lasting change to Our Code, a nonprofit aimed at inspiring high schoolers to code. But a recent scandal puts its reputation at risk, further complicating things. Pearl did not expect the one man she never stopped thinking about to join as the newest member of her board of directors. Cord Matthews fell for Pearl when they met in an elevator 8 years ago. She's just his type, smart, capable, and makes him laugh. But when she broke his heart and decided love wasn't for him. When they reconnect after years with no contact, Cord is tempted to consider breaking his ban on serious relationships, but going public with a romance between them might derail Pearl's career and the progress she's made at Our Code. While Pearl and Cord are both hesitant to trust their feelings and take a risk, it soon becomes impossible to keep ignoring the electricity between them. Cord is a skilled programmer, but a workplace romance might spell disaster for both of them, and love isn't easily debugged. Okay, so that sounds good. So we got second chance romance, workplace. So for workplace forbidden romance, I'm not mad at this. Okay, I'm excited. So we're gonna read that. And I've read, I think, something else by Denise Williams. I think How to Fail at Flirting. She wrote that one, and I really liked it. It was very cute. So I got this book off of a rec from Shelby in the book club. And I feel like Shelby is like my friend in my head because she's silly. And I'm on that type of time. But she raved about Sky Full of Elephants by Cebo Campbell. And so the premise of it is like what happens when white people disappear. And it sort of deals with issues of race and identity, especially when the sort of arbiters of the issue just... So it's essentially says like you don't get away from, like, once we dismantle a thing, doesn't mean that the ghosts of it don't haunt us. You know what I'm saying? So when I went down to New Orleans, and I picked up a copy at Baldwin and Co. and it's signed, baby. It's like it's signed by the author. And so what I did, as I do sometimes, is because I wasn't sure whether I would get a physical copy or just like wait and get it from the bookstore or the library. And so I read the first page and I was hooked and riveted, tuned in. And the fact that it's signed, I said, you know what? Run it up. So the first chapter was really good. And so I've been sort of holding it to get back into it and read it because I know I'm going to eat this up. So I'm looking forward to reading Sky Full of Elephants. And after finishing One of Our Kind by Nicola Yoon, I might be ready to just do another one of those. So yes, for my research, and I'm reading a lot of things for my research because I got a paper. I'm presenting a paper this month, but I'm rereading Bodies in Dissent by Daphne Brooks, and this is about performance, Black performance at the intersection of race and like freedom work from 1850 to 1910. So we're talking about end of Civil War through the beginning through like mid-Reconstruction, right? So I've read this before. It was fantastic. I read it as a digital book when I was working on my dissertation. So I have read it before, but I need to read it again for this paper that I'm writing. And I'm really looking forward to doing that. Also, this month, I'm gonna do it. Mr. God's Lawyer. Y'all have heard me talk about this one. Me and Monique. This is gonna be hysterical. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what Joyce and Aiden get into, because after the end of the Grim Reaper's Lawyer, I was just like, why would you end the book right there and then leave us to wait for like 2 years? Like, I know you were studying for the bar and finishing law school, but girl, why would you do that to us? So I'm gonna do this one this month. Can't wait. I've been holding it like delayed gratification. I've been delaying my own gratification, friends. And so I think we're gonna do it. I think we're gonna do it this month. And then lastly, I am going to be cracking open Black as Fuck History by Michael Harriot. Now, again, I'd already started this one because I love history. I'm a history chick girl, and I have been. And so I read the first, it's not even a chapter, I read the first few pages and the introduction to Black as Fuck History, and it was so funny. I was cracking up. And so I'm ready. It's Black History Month, so us is gonna do this. Oh, I got one more. In the spirit of reading our Black classics, right? I got two on my list so far, but there's a third, and that's Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. I don't know if I'm gonna actually get to it this month, but it is on my list, so it might come up again, and I might just push it to March. But Giovanni's Room is also on my bookshelf in my office, and I am writing a paper on Baldwin. And I haven't read Giovanni's Room. I've had the book for a long time. So I think I'm ready to like sit down and give that one a read as well. This is a Baldwin stand account too. Octavia Butler and James Baldwin, Toni Morrison, Zora and Hurston. You're not going to talk bad about them in my presence. You know what I'm saying? But I love Baldwin. And so I am looking forward to reading about one of his takes, rereading one of his takes on queerness, because I've read Parts of Another Country, which also talk about like queer relationships in a particular way. So that's on my list as well, and hopefully I'll get to it. We'll see. We'll see how the month goes. Because again, my goal is to slow down in 2025 in my reading and try to read more things that are on my bookshelf and more things. You see all the books over here are physical books. Mostly that I own. So we're trying to do it. We're trying to think. We're trying to read our books at home because we don't need to buy more books. That's what I tell myself, at least. Anyway, what y'all read for Black History Month? Let me know. What are you interested in? Are you reading any of the books on my list? And or do you want to read any of these books with me? Because we could read them and talk about it. As always, friends, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend about the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.